Americans keep cutting off accesses to intelligence
к своим
for Ukraine's armed forces. Oh, wow. I wonder why Russia would like this. I wonder why Russia would like Donald Trump's tactics. What a mystery. What a mystery as to why Russia would be amicable to this sort of move.
данным, вслед за снимками с военных спутников,
After losing access to images from military satellites,
Киев лишили доступа и к
Kyiv was denied access to commercial satellite image.
фотографиям с военных спутников. Киев лишили доступа и к фотографиям с коммерческих спутников
Of the company Maxar.
компании Maxar. Включили с формулировкой
It was cut off due to an administrative request.
по административному запросу, чтобы это не значило.
Whatever that means.
Ограничение коснется и
This restriction will apply
государственных структур и
both to commercial and private Ukrainian accounts.
частных клиентов. Это осложнит,
For the Kyiv regime, this will certainly
конечно,
complicate
киевскому режиму мониторинг продвижения
monitoring the movements of the Russian troops
российского оценку
and determining the aftermath of strikes
последствий прилета.
and protecting, civilians from Russian airstrikes, Russian missile strikes, and what have you. That will also be impacted. That has already been impacted. Just so you
Теперь
know.
на Украине боятся
Now Ukraine fears that Starlink may also be turned off. Yeah, because Elon Musk has already blackmailed, basically threatened to cut off Starlink if Zelensky does not sign the mineral deal.
что ВСУшникам могут
For
чуть
Ukraine's armed forces.
Starlink пишет об этом
The Washington Post writes today.
сегодня, Вашингтон-Пост. Ну и главная страшилка
The scariest thing in the Washington Post article
в публикации Вашингтон-Пост
is
это
that Russia might be connected to Starlink,
Старлинка в России, которая даст
which would give the Russians another trump card. I mean, yeah, it is bad that Russia, especially since Elon Musk has been repeatedly saying that he does not provide Starlink to Russia, okay? The reports of Russia using Starlink anyway against the Ukrainian forces. Yes, providing the aggressor with Starlink is bad. But considering that the United States cabinet is now openly pro-Russia, it would not surprise me if Starlink would be now just provided openly to Russians to use at the front lines.
русским.
Would not surprise me at all
Еще один козырь на поле боя.
on the battlefield.
Дональд Трамп
Donald Trump keeps pressuring Zelensky, which is ridiculous. It is so ridiculous that there's zero pressure on Russia, but all the pressure on Ukraine. Who's the aggressor again? Oh yeah, I forgot. Donald Trump said that Ukraine should admit to being the aggressor and apologize and be grateful, and that it has no cards. I forgot all these facts.
Трамп продолжает давить на Зеленского. По данным Bloomberg,
According to Bloomberg for Washington,
Вашингтону недостаточно
a mineral resource deal with Ukraine is not enough.
сделки по украинским природным ресурсам. Новая
The new demand is a ceasefire on the front lines. Well, no, that's not what was said.
требование прекращения огня на линии фронта. Без этого
Without that, Americans won't sign the deal. Oh my God.
подписывать американцы не станут. С сайта
It's
Белого
about
дома.
security guarantees, but that aspect is, of course, completely omitted by the Russian side. A 10 years security agreement with Ukraine
Пропало десятилетнее соглашение по безопасности с
vanished from the White House's website
Украиной вместо
instead of an agreement that was signed last year
подписанного Байденом и Зеленским
by Biden and Zelensky.
договора. Теперь только надпись страницы
Well, it says it's page not found.
не найдена.
So no security agreement anymore. That all went away.
Телеканалы NBC
Citing former U.S. intelligence officials,
со ссылкой на бывших сотрудников американской разведки озвучил
NBC aired an incredible insight.
невероятный инсайт. Администрация Трампа
The Trump administration might start
делится конфиденциальными данными с официальной
sharing confidential data with official Moscow
Москвой. И больше не
and no longer considers Russia the main threat. So the United States would take away intel from Ukraine and give it instead to Russia, which would allow it to strike with more precision, maybe kill more civilians with precision. Who knows? The sky's the limit at this point. Who knows? Maybe Russia will stop giving military aid to Ukraine and just give it to Russia instead as well.
рассматривает Россию как главную угрозу. Немецкий
The German Bild and France 24 are spreading
Bild и France 24 разгоняют
the revelations of a former KGB agent from Kazakhstan.
откровения некоего бывшего сотрудника KGB из
Who says that Trump was recruited by the KGB.
Казахстана, в которых он сообщает, что Трамп был завербован КГБ под кодовым
And assigned the code name Krasnov.
именем Краснов.
Supposedly Soviet intelligence
Советские
agencies
спецслужбы взяли Дональда в оборот еще в далеком
got Donald in their clutches long ago, back in 1987, which, I don't know, Trump's rhetoric has remained the same since 1987, so
1987.
identical, in fact. Who is Agent Krasnov?
Краснов.
Some believe that it's Donald Trump.
Что это Дональд Трамп.
I mean, he is pretty openly pro-Russia. That is all that I'm going to say. I'm not going to speculate on Agent Krasnov, but I will just say, yeah, he is an ally of Russia. Definitely. Officially.
They were peaceful people.
Он пытался баллотироваться на пост президента
He tried to run for president that same year in 1987.
еще в 1987
Wait, he said he didn't want to be president, but he did say that everybody's screwing America over.
году.
He pushed for a Republican nomination but failed.
Еще тогда он хотел
Oh, so he lied in that interview that we've seen. What a liar. What a dastardly liar.
получить номинацию от республиканской партии, но
The question is, what exactly happened on this trip
эта идея не увенчалась успехом. Но что именно
to Moscow in 1987? I almost said 1987.
произошло в той поездке в Москву в 1987
This question has been around for years.
году? Что заставило американского
What made Donald Trump go into politics?
бизнесмена удариться в
Well, the thing that, of course, why Donald Trump went into politics was because the United States was being taken advantage of by everybody. It was not respected. We should tariff everybody. We should make America perfect, great again. That is why he got into politics and nothing else. Absolutely and nothing else.
политику? Люди задают этот вопрос на протяжении многих
And this question has been around for years.
лет.
КГБ определил
Trump was identified as a useful opportunist by the KGB in the early 1980s.
Трампа как полезного оппортуниста еще в 1980 году.
In 1986, during a luncheon in New York,
В 1986 году на обеде в Нью-Йорке Трампа намеренно посадили рядом с
Trump was purposely seated next to Yuri Dubinin,
послом СССР Юрием Дубининым
the ambassador of the USSR, and his daughter.
и его дочерью. Дочь всячески
The ambassador's daughter kept flattering Trump
льстила Трампу и предлагала построить
and suggesting that he build a Trump Tower in Moscow.
Тауэр в Москве. И уже в 1987 году
In 1987, Trump visited Moscow for the first time.
Трамп впервые посещает Москву, а затем
And then he went to St. Petersburg
Ленинград, чтобы обсудить строительство
to discuss building luxury hotels.
роскошных отелей. Объединенных
In Moscow, the future US president. What poll? What poll do you want me to make? What poll would you like me to make? Oh, what? Oh my gosh. What is Lucy's KGB code name? What are the options? Duck, Ki, Quack, Ma, Wa, Kachushka? Warszawianka. Here you go. There you go. Those are my options. Choose your options carefully. Okay? Choose these options carefully. Respect, I know.
Штатов остановился в Москве в гостинице «Националь», которая сотрудничала с агентами из КГБ.
Trump met with members of the Politburo. Oh, wow. Okay.
Трамп
Economist.
и советскими экономистами. И по словам
According to Alnur Musayev, damn,
Мусаева именовали
recruited during these meetings.
и дали кодовое имя
Was
Краснов.
given a code name Krasnov. Well, I guess I'm gonna be calling Trump Krasnov from now on. Welcome, Agent Krasnov. I wonder if Trump's gonna start banning people, forbidding people from calling him that.
Именно с этого момента Трамп начинает
From that very moment, Trump started to criticize NATO. Uh-oh! From 1987, he even criticized NATO in that interview that we watched from 1987. Uh-oh! Well, well, well. What do you know?
критиковать НАТО. Уже больше года
In September of the same year,
он публикует тексты на полразворота
he started publishing statements in U.S. newspapers. We saw an interview that addressed that. Remember? Yeah, I guess I would like to know that in that interview he criticized Saudi Arabia, Japan, NATO, and many other countries, but he never said anything about the USSR. Not one word mentioned about the USSR. Curious.
в американских газетах
Openly criticizing the North Atlantic Alliance
Североатлантический альянс и внешнюю политику.
and U.S. foreign policy. Yeah, that is true. He did criticize those things. Why should we protect Japan? Why should we protect anybody? They should pay us. And now basically he's, yeah, interesting. And never criticized the USSR. Krasnov is at it again. Krasnov has certainly made progress. He's certainly being a far better agent now than in 1987.
США. И именно тогда Трамп
Then
нацелился
Trump set a goal of becoming a U.S.
на
president.
пост президента Соединенных Штатов. В 2013
In 2013, Trump held a contest, Miss Universe,
году Трамп проводит конкурс «Мисс Вселенная» в Москве.
in Moscow.
Россия — это удивительная
Russia is an amazing country.
страна. У меня там много
I have so many friends in Russia.
друзей.
At the time, Trump was obsessed
Трамп был
with the
одержим
idea of meeting the Russian president,
с президентом России Владимиром
Vladimir Putin.
Путиным. Но тогда их встреча
Their meeting didn't happen
сорвалась из-за московских пробок, которые вынудили
because Moscow's traffic jam forced the Russian
отменить
to cancel it. Uh-oh. Well, well, well.
встречу. Но когда Трамп вернулся
As a consolation
в
prize,
Америку, Путин
when Trump returned to
в
America,
качестве утешения прислал ему подарок
Putin sent him a gift, a black lacquered box
— черную лакированную было
that contained a sealed letter.
письмо. Что же было
What did this letter say?
в этом письме?
It's a good question.
Никто
No one knows. Donald Trump didn't tell anyone.
не знает, Дональд Трамп никому не сказал об этом
He's boasting about it,
письме. Он хвастается, но не говорит, что
but never says what was in this private letter from Putin.
Путин ему написал.
Агент Краснов — это
Donald Trump agent Krasnov? This is the question.
Дональд Трамп или нет? Вот в чем вопрос.
Прямо
What an intriguing intrigue.
интрига.
Я бы
I really wouldn't trust Donald Trump's peace
не
initiative.
очень верил в мирные инициативы Дональда Трампа. Это
Of
человек,
course, this man wants to end this conflict. Well, he wants. We already know what he wants. Actually, he wants the normalization of relations with Russia at the cost of Ukraine. Like Ukraine doesn't really matter as an entity to Trump. He will cut aid. He says that he cares about the killing stopping, but exposing citizens, exposing civilians to more danger because you stop giving intel, that doesn't stop the killing. It increases the killing, in fact, potentially by a big amount. And of course, there's the whole stopping military aid, which of course also will increase the deaths, potentially by a substantial amount. Of course, this man wants to end this
конец
conflict.
конфликту, но он ведет себя сейчас.
He's currently acting like a medieval king.
Он считает,
Or an emperor. He considers Volodymyr Zelensky his vassal. I mean, your leader Putin also has vassals, like in Chechnya,
салом и показывает ему, как
and
нужно
shows him how to act around his sovereign,
себя вести со своим сюзереном, как нужно уважать.
how to respect him, how to kiss his hand and his ring. This is not inaccurate, unfortunately. It is said when I listen to Russian media, and I agree. This is exactly what Trump is doing.
Собственно, целовать руку и целовать перстень. Но когда он подчинит
В этой части нам Дональд
For this, we like Donald Trump. There we go. There you have it. We like that Donald Trump is acting like a king. We like it that he just treats others as vassals and tells them how to bend the knee and kiss the ring and bow down. Of course, we like it.
Трамп нравится, но наверняка есть
But there is certainly another side to it.
есть нюанс. Как русские
As they say, it's nuanced. Yes, it's so nuanced. It's incredible. What incredible nuance Donald Trump has to him.
народ богоносец говорит. Смотрите, он,
Of course, he will subdue his naughty vassal
безусловно, своего вассала подчинит, его заставит.
and will force him to bend the knee.
Интересно, чего
What is interesting is what will he demand from us? Well, so far, nothing. Nothing. He is demanding nothing from Russia and everything from Ukraine. That is so far the reality of the
он
situation.
потребует от нас.
What will he demand from us? Nothing.
Мы можем предположить,
We can assume he will ask us
что от нас он потребует некой, скажем так,
to limit our cooperation with China. We'll see. So far, this demand has not been made. And yes, China has noted that the US is moving to decouple Russia from China. But this is not going to happen, in my opinion. The US would have to offer something substantial to Russia to decouple it from China. Like Ukraine, maybe?
ограничение нашей кооперации с Китаем, что для нас, в общем-то,
In a certain sense, this isn't good for us.
в каком-то смысле не очень хорошо. Конечно, никто не считает, что Россия
No one thinks that Russia should depend on China
должна стать зависимой от Китая, стать
or
вассалом
to be China's vassal.
Китая. Но вот так вот по мановению
But just because our red-headed friend waves his finger, it is interesting how Russia, as well as Donald Trump, view the world in sort of this. Both countries right now, I guess, the United States under Donald Trump and Russia under Putin, have this view of the world as kings and vassals. It's certainly a way to view international relations.
пальца нашего дорогого рыжего друга отказываться от
We won't say no to our cooperation with Beijing.
взаимодействия с Пекином, мы не будем.
исходим из того, что
Basically, it's completely unacceptable. There you go. It took them long enough, but they said something that I've already said. It's not happening.
это недопустимо действительно.
Конечно, мы все
All of us are saying Trump is doing all these
говорим,
things.
вот Трамп сейчас делает там такие вещи, но надо знать, что это
But let's remember, this is our competitor and adversary. Well, not for long. He's moving to be our ally. Actually, he's making big steps to becoming your ally. He's courting you.
там, знаете, наш соперник, наш противник, и мы там будем с
And soon we will have to battle him.
ним потом скоро воевать. Воевать там в том плане там.
In terms of sanctions, diplomatically speaking, etc. Well, Trump is already considering lifting sanctions, so
Так сказать, в санкционном, там, дипломатическом и так далее. Но
but today he is doing the right things for Russia,
сегодня-то
I should add.
он делает правильные вещи. Давайте на это обращать внимание. Если
Let's pay attention. This is our window of opportunity. Yeah, this is the window of opportunity that Russia has been waiting for the last 3 years. I agree with that. It is so depressing. What a depressing timeline we live in when I just listen to the Russian media and I agree with what they're saying. It's not incorrect what they're saying. Donald Trump certainly presents a window of opportunity for Russia to turn this whole thing around to their benefit.
окно возможности, но ведь прекрасная
He's doing excellent things.
вещь, знаете. Значит, информацию закрыли,
He cut off their intel access, turned off their satellites.
спутники отключили у них, приостановили
They've suspended weapons deliveries.
оружие, там убрали даже
They even deleted their deal with Zelensky
с сайта соглашения у них, так сказать,
off their website, the security agreement that he had with Biden.
с Зеленским. То есть надо идти сегодня.
We should follow the track that is being offered to us. There you go. Russia understands what's happening. Russia understands that this is all in favor of normalizing or even getting super close to Russia at the expense of Ukraine,
Сегодня, конечно, полагается.
including spiritual things. Oh boy. Including spiritual things, spiritual science, spiritual
Полагается
ghosts.
вплоть до духовных вещей. Там вышел этот
Vice President came out with a cross on his forehead. What?
с крестом на лбу вице-президент. Да, это
Марко
что?
Рубио,
That was Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Wait, hold on. What? What happened? What?
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio appeared on TV Thursday, March 6, with a noticeable cross of ashes on his forehead, sparking curiosity online. So, what's the story behind it? The mark is a symbol of Ash Wednesday, a Christian tradition of penitence and humility that kicks off Lent, a period of fasting and reflection leading up to Easter. It's rooted in the 40 days Jesus is believed to have spent fasting in the desert before revealing the gospel. During this
Separation of church and state is in full swing, I see.
Это возможно было представить это до Трампа? Да
Could
это
we have imagined this before Trump?
вообще невозможно. Традиция.
It was impossible. These are the traditional values. Yes, when you... Oh my God. What is happening? Marco Rubio, what are you doing? This is even the wrong cross. Why are... Oh God. This is insane. To me, at least.
Традиционные ценности. Это серьезная
These are serious things. This... Oh God.
вещь. Что, мы не будем это поддерживать? Будем.
Will we support this? Of course we will. Wow. An endorsement of Russia. What bigger honor could Trump's cabinet receive than this?
Конечно. Обязательно.
Мы поддерживаем все, абсолютно.
We support everything Donald Trump is doing. This should tell you everything that you need to know about Trump's policy. The Russian media says we support everything Donald Trump is doing. This is brilliant.
Как ведет себя Дональд Трамп пока, но мы же
We love how he is behaving. Russia loves how Donald Trump is behaving. At least Russian media does. But I suspect that it's more than just the Russian media. I suspect that it's also the Russian government. Everybody's Russian is celebrating right now Donald Trump's presidency, probably more than the Americans. That is the most interesting thing, that the America First president has Americans protesting and the Russians celebrating and loving how he is behaving.
понимаем, что это давление на
But we understand that he is putting pressure on Kyiv.
Киев и анонсируют, что скоро
And is
попытаются давление на Киев и анонсируют,
announcing that soon.
скоро попытаются
He will try putting pressure on Moscow.
оказать давление на
А
Москву.
посмотрим.
We'll see about that.
А
No,
вот
he
Что скоро попытаются оказать
won't actually. So far, that has not been evidenced by anything. He will not put pressure on Moscow. He's too busy trying to put pressure to offer Ukraine up to Russia on a silver platter.
давление на
А
Москву.
посмотрим.
We'll see about that.
А вот это посмотрим.
Вот
У них
здесь
We
проблем
should prepare for this.
вот так вот. Международных проблем вот
They're up to their neck in domestic and global problems.
так вот. А что он у нас оказывает?
What
Не
kind of
будет
pressure can
поставлять
he
туда
apply
оружие
towards us?
и на санкции
Delivering
наложит.
weapons and applying sanctions? I mean, that is a good question. I mean, yeah, he actually could do very substantial sanctions and he could give a real delivery of weapons, and then you'd be in trouble.
Вот не видали.
What's new about that? We've seen all of it. Yeah, but you've seen a lackluster version of it. That is a pretty important fact. You've seen a very lackluster version of it. You know? Very silly. Okay?
Какая? Так мы Так и были. Так что начинать
Then there was no need to start all of this.
тогда? Это просто. Там
It's not so simple. It could be structured in another way. God.
есть какая-то другая конструкция сделать.
That might be doable. I'm so frustrated by the fact that Russia says, "Oh yeah, we've seen it all before," as in the aid was given in proper amounts and in proper at the proper time. Ridiculous, but whatever. The takeaway here is that Russia is loving everything. What Russia is debating everything that loving everything that Trump is doing.